so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Wherever you are connecting from, I say may Chukwu Kukabiama continue to guide and protect everyone that have connected to this very program today. I say happy Sunday to every one of you that is connecting wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining from Biafra land, I say may Chukwu Kukabiama continue to guide and protect you. If you are joining from any part of Europe, from Asia, from America, from Australia, from China, from Russia, from New Zealand, wherever you are joining from, I say may Chukwu Kukabiama continue to guide you and protect you. Today is Sunday. Remember, every Sunday, those of us that are Christians, I myself am a Christian. After going to church to worship, I will still come here to worship a Biafran. And I tell you, I am first of all a Biafran before I become a Christian. So my being a Christian does not stop me from being a Biafra. It doesn't stop me from speaking about Biafra. I am a Biafran first before any other thing comes along. And Biafra is my religion. Biafra is my first religion. I can be in another thing. I can be in any other program. I can be doing anything I'm doing. But I never forget that I am a Biafran. So that is why every Sunday after worshiping in church as a Christian, I also come here to worship as a Biafran, to speak to my brothers and sisters who are Biafrans all over the world. Wherever they are connecting from, I come here to appreciate them and thank them also, and also encourage them to continue the struggle until we finish the restoration process. As you all know, this platform where you are watching is an autopiloted platform, autopiloted by Chukwu Kukabiama himself, under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, and under leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. Continue to speak the gospel of Biafra and send the message straight to those who are supposed to hear and bring our plight to the whole world. We will not stop speaking. No matter how they try to stop us, try to block us, try to keep us down, we will always stand up. No matter how many times they push us down, we always stand up. Our former platform have been hindered. They blocked us from the platform. We cannot go live in King David Exploit Expose. That is why we are trying to develop this area. So as you have been able to locate us here, please kindly share the broadcast. Share the broadcast to all your platforms. Share it to any WhatsApp group you belong. Share the broadcast so that people can join us on this very broadcast. It is very important because the mission and responsibility we have is to make sure we reach out to every Biafrans and let them know the state of things and what we are supposed to do. That is why I'm here. I'm not here to preach any hate. I'm not here to attack anybody. I'm not here to create any chaos or problem. But I'm here to set the record straight and say the right words. I appreciate everybody who have connected. And today, we are going to speak about a very important topic that concerns every one of us. So many of us must have seen what is going online. So many of us are online 24 hours, watching and observing what is happening. And we will continue to make our contributions as the day go by. And you see the topic I chose. I say, we can no longer be deceived or distracted by deceitful apology. We cannot be deceived or distracted by deceitful apology. Never. We will never. No matter how they try to deceive us or distract us, we will not be distracted or deceived by their deceitful apology. Let them continue to deceive themselves, but they won't deceive us. So many of you must have seen what is flying online. All of a sudden, the man who claimed to know it all, the late Muhammad Buhari came out and began to make an apology. Begin to make an apology to his own fellow one Nigerian, because I believe he knows that we don't care about him, neither are we going to be participating in whatever he's saying. But that apology he threw, and you know, each time they are talking about their so-called one Nigeria, they try to count us, the Biafrans, in. So we are trying to make it clear to them that their deceitful apology cannot stop us doing what we are to do. Whatever blackmail they are pushing, whatever propaganda they are pushing, that is still apology, cannot change us from whom we are. They can't distract us. No matter how they try, no matter how they try to hinder us, they will never ever succeed. They'll never succeed. Every one of us have known the stage we are today. The Biafran people, we have been rejected in that contraption called Nigeria. They said they don't want us to be part of them. They are trying by all means possible to send us off in every given opportunity. They dehumanize us, they call us names, and they attack us on different fronts. And we have continued to stand our ground. We try to make it work on several occasions. We have tried to make it work on several occasions. From the onset, from the beginning of that very contraption, we tried to make it work. But it never worked. Each time we made a move to make it work, it won't work. It will always bring a problem to us. The only thing we get at every time is this deception you are saying today. After they must have destroyed everything in the contraption, after they must have created chaos and problems everywhere, they come out and they begin to render apology, just to win us back and begin to use us. That is what they always do. And they always do this time and time again. And more especially, this deception is coming from the political side. The deception is always coming from the political side. And every indigenous person in that contraption is supposed to keep their eyes open and watch closely. How many times are they going to deceive you? How many times will they distract you? How many times will they pretend to tell you the truth while they are lying? How many times will they be talking from the two sides of their mouth and you are still there listening and watching? The deception has been from the onset, from the creation of that contraption. There has only been deception from the political elites. And this political elite have succeeded in cornering some people towards their own direction. Even the ordinary civilians, the ordinary Nigerians, the ordinary citizens, most of them have been cornered into their own direction. When they think they are working for these people, meanwhile, the people they are working for doesn't care about them. They don't care. That is why they keep on borrowing in your name. When they borrow, they share the money among themselves without anything to offer. When they come to the time of election, they will try to use you to get into power. They have done it time and time again. And they are still using those of them who are still confessing one Nigeria. They are still an instrument that can be used. But those of us who are standing our ground and say we are no longer part of this contraption called one Nigeria, we have denounced it and say we will never, ever be part of it anymore. They are scared of us. And they are trying to use all manner of language to force us into agreement with them, to deceive some people that they will deceive. But I bet you, the autopiloted IPOB, under the control of the Biafra Republic government in exile, and our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, and on the leadership of Master Nnamdi Kanu, we can never change from our stance. We can never change from our stance. It doesn't matter what they bring, whatever propaganda they project out there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You saw all of a sudden, the same man who has refused to see reasons, the same man who has supported everything that creates division in that contraption today. Since Buhari came to power, for the past 8 years that Buhari has been there, almost 8 years. By next month, it's going to be 8 years that Buhari was in power. He has always introduced a system that will bring separation, that will bring misunderstanding among the indigenous tribes. He has always planted seed of discord among the tribes. This is somebody who came in the first entrance and he began to say that he cannot treat everybody equal. He said it before the whole world. That he's not going to treat people who voted him 5% with people who voted him 80%. And he said it openly. Not just saying it, he has been acting in that way until the last minute. Until the last minute. And do you know that this has become a seed that has been planted? And today, the people that they are expecting to be inaugurated, their new government that they want to inaugurate today, have also started sowing the same seed. They have started sowing the same seed. I heard a speech that was rendered for some people, and they were saying that people that gave them lesser vote cannot be treated with people that gave them more vote. This slogan has been planted by this man that came and began to apologize. They called him name Buhari. He came and said he rendered apology. You are rendering apology, but from all the damages you have done
in the life of the people, you are not ready to make a change. You have not repented. Repentance comes before apology. You have to first of all repent of your sin. Repent of the sin you have committed against the indigenous people before you can begin to talk about forgiveness. You have committed crime against every indigenous tribe in that contraption. You have planted the seed of discord. The country is much more divided than ever now. And we have gotten to a broken point of no return. That is where we are today. And I bet you, Biafrans are not turning back. We are moving ahead and we're going home. Regardless your propaganda, your blackmail, your distraction, no matter what you say or what you think you have, we will move forward until we get to our promised land. Exactly, my brother Sunday Okaha. Exactly. He even went to the extent of saying that we are a dot. There's no kind of insult that, more especially the Biafran people, did not get from this man. He went to the extent of calling us a dot. That we are just a dot. And he has made other people have given assurance that they're going to block us and make sure we don't have any access to anywhere. Created so much division that he have divided people and separated brothers from brothers, sisters from sisters, friends from friends. Today, the bickering and the misunderstanding you are seeing between the Oduduwa people and the Biafran, the Yoruba people and the Igbo people, the problem you are seeing between them today is still created by this same man and his cohorts. This same man, even as he is trying to get out of that, escape from Asorock, as he's planning to escape from Asorock, he is still busy planting seed of discord. Look at the kind of enmity they are creating between the Yorubas and the Igbos. They know very well that the Yorubas and Igbos are the most closest people, the most educated people, and most cooperative people you can think about. And they don't want that to happen. They never want to. They know that if Yorubas can agree with the Igbos, if the Yorubas can match with Igbos, that the contraption called Nigeria will have a different shape. It will have a different shape. That is why you see in his last minute, he has succeeded in using this man they called as their presidential elect. He has succeeded in using Tinubu to plant a seed of discord. Something that our supreme leader Mazen Nandekana has succeeded in destroying. This was a seed they gathered and planted. They planted this seed. But our supreme leader Mazen Nandekano took his time to decimate this very seed. Preached a hard message. Even when Mazen Nandekano was preaching a hard message, we did not get the kind of backlash we're getting today. Even when Mazen Nandekano was calling out our Oduduwa brothers to wake them up. When Mazen Nandekano was preaching the hard message to wake the Oduduwa people up and make them to stand for their right and pursue that which is right, they did not have the kind of hatred they have upon us today. And I thank you, Mazen Nandekano succeeded with that message. He went ahead to establish a strong ally with our Oduduwa brothers. We began to see ourselves as the same. We began to protest on the same ground. We began to raise each other's flag. And we began to speak for each other. Mazen Nandekano make that. And they became afraid. And since that, they have continued to plan and see how they are going to destroy that very ally. They have been trying to see how they can be able to destroy that friendship and make sure that the Oduduwa people and the Biafran people never unite. And they became so much afraid when our new Prime Minister of Biafran government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, came and cemented that relationship. He came on board and cemented that relationship. We had a press conference where the Oduduwa people and Biafra people told the world that today they are both working hand in hand to get their freedom from the contraption called Nigeria. And they are ready to work together to see that they get out from this contraption and get a nation of their own. When Mazi Simon Ekpa made that great move, a great move before the whole world, all hell break loose, they began to plan their strategy. They went into Tinubu, remind him about their sponsorship, remind him about the presidency. And this has been planned, they have been making. Remember, our Supreme Mazen Nandekano talked about this and people never believed him. Our Supreme Mazen Nandekano revealed the secret that the plan they had that made them to get the late Muhammadu Buhari into power was that after them, Tinubu will come on board. That was what they promised they gave to Tinubu before Tinubu took his own party and merged with them. That was how they were able to convince Tinubu to use his money, the money of Lagos State, the money of Ududua people, to sponsor the late Muhammad Buhari, who came today to destroy the Social Body completely. Mazen Nanikara made a revelation that the plan was to hand over to Tinubu. That if anybody is thinking of any other presidency, like people who were talking about the Igbo presidency, we were telling them it is not going to happen. We told the London board it is not going to happen. That look at the plan, look at the promise, look at the map they have drawn already. And today you see everything playing out before your own very eyes. Today they use that same man to begin to create enmity between the Biafran people and the Ududua people. They have channeled all manner of weapons. Look at what they do during the election. During election time, they went to the extent of even attacking their own fellow Yorubas who looks like Igbos. They went to the extent of attacking their fellow Yorubas who looks like Igbos. Even those that has Igbo parents and their Yorubas, the attack went to them. That is how bad it is. In a country that is supposed to be one, people from other continents are going to different continents to become a president, to become governors. In a place that is not theirs. Look at the United Kingdom today. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom today is an Indian man. Obama was a president of the United States. But in that same contraption that you call a nation, somebody who is from that very place, born and brought up that place, two parents from there, bred in that place, grew up in that very place, they deny him a position. They deny him a position simply because of his ethnic group. Simply because of his ethnic group, his position was denied him. And this is the evil seed that the late Muhammad Buhari have planted. And continue to water this seed. And they are not relenting. If you think they are stopping, they are not stopping. They are not going to stop. And do you see what is happening today? They have started a new hashtag. The new hashtag you see online today, what do you see? Yoruba job for Yoruba people. These are the people who are calling you tribal bigot. These are the people who say they want one Nigeria. These are the people who are saying you are too tribalistic. Today, even after the election, after they have rigged the election, they are not still satisfied. They continue to preach that hate message. They continue to push that tribal agenda. That Yoruba, any job in Yoruba land should be for Yoruba people. They went to the extent of begin to campaign for the sack of people who are not from Yoruba land in that very place. And I tell you, the people that are involved in this crime are not the Yorubas. They are not the Ududua people. These are a group of people who have been sponsored, who are being sponsored by the caliphate to make sure that they deepen the misunderstanding between us and our Yoruba brothers. Because the more they try, they see that we are still standing together. The more they try, they still see that our language is still the same. The more they try, they see that we're not relenting our effort. And they are not stopping. They keep on continuing to increase in the attack. They bring up a different dimension. Every day you see a different language. Every blessed day, a different language. Today, even after they have rigged the election, they took the election, they took everything, which we know that was what was going to happen. We knew beforehand. That was why, at the first place, we never wanted to participate, and we say we will not be part of it. Even after they have done that, they have continued to preach that message, pushing a hashtag, moving up to the sacking people who are not from Yoruba land in their jobs. And at the same time, these people are here talking about one Nigeria. How dare you? How can you beat a child and tell that child not to cry? How can you beat a child and tell that child not to cry? For my Ududua brothers who understand what is going on, I appreciate you for them. This evil message is not being preached by the Ududua people. It's being preached by people that are being sponsored. People who are being sponsored by the caliphate. And the funny thing is that this tribal card will always have effect on some people because of their own sentiment, personal sentiment. Some people who have their personal or private sentiment are now buying into that very idea. And it's capturing them. You see why when we talk about diversity, that Nigeria is not one. There are diverse nations in Nigeria. No matter how you try to pretend about these words, these are realities that will continue to stare you at your face. No matter how you continue to pretend, this reality will continue to stare at you. That Nigeria is not one nation. And when we say it, we are not saying it out of hatred. We are not saying it out of wickedness. We are not saying it to cause confusion. We are not saying it because of the resources we have. We are not saying it just because we want it. We are saying it so that we can be able to have a sane nation where people with like manners can live peacefully and exist, then grow effectively. The reason why we are calling for the breakup of Nigeria is for people to have a legitimate growth, for people to have security, to save life. To save life. As you are watching me on this very video today, so many people are losing their life. You see, most time when we Biafrans come online to talk, every attack is focused on the Biafran people, including the media. All the social media today, they are attacking those who are speaking up about the situation of that contraption. They are attacking us. But when we speak about it, it is not just because of what the Biafran people are facing. This problem is a problem that every single one of us that is indigenous in that contraption is facing. The loss of life in that contraption today, nobody is reporting about it. The loss of life that is happening on daily basis. If they can open your eye, if somebody can do an investigative journalism, if a sincere journalist can go and investigate, make a forensic investigation about the life that is being lost in that contraption on daily basis, in the hand of the terrorists, in the hand of the enemy, in the name of ethnic problems. People that lose their life on daily basis, you will marvel. There is no planet, no country on planet Earth that will face that same situation and they will continue to allow it. There is no part of the world, no country in the planet Earth that will face what Nigeria is facing today and silence the same. No. The problem that made India to break into pieces and allows Pakistan to go is not up to what we are seeing in Nigeria today. The problem that set aside the former USSR and make them break into pieces is not up to what we are seeing in Biafra today. The problem that made Singapore to move away from Malaysia is not 1/4 of what we are seeing in Biafra land today. It's not 1/4 of what we are seeing in Nigeria today. But why is it that when we, the people in that very contraption, come out to speak up about the issue situation,